This conference will now be recorded.
So when you open the Tableau, to open the Tableau in your machine, so after installation there is a icon right on your desktop. You can open the icon on the desktop. So I have two versions installed in my machine. That's what I could see. Two icons. One is 2023.2 and another one is 2022.4. So you can open any of the version. I'm opening 2022.4. Let it open. As I said, the Tableau desktop is a developer tool. So who are working as a Tableau developer, they only use this. Business users don't use this Tableau desktop. Okay. So this is the connection window. What is this? This is the connection window from where we can able to establish connection to the data sources. So what type of data sources we will establish connection based on the requirement. If your data in a Excel file, you will establish connection to the Excel data source. If your data available in some other database system, yes, you have to establish connection to the respective databases. For example, let's select Microsoft Excel. So when I'm selecting Microsoft Excel, it is pointing directly to specific location. What is this location? See users home documents, my Tableau repository. Under there is a folder data sources. Under the version M 2022.4, under which it is opening sample superstore. Correct. Let's open the folder manually. Go to documents, my Tableau repository. If you look at under repository, there are multiple folders in which it is directly pointing to data sources. When I open Excel connection, based on the version, it has dynamically taken the version. Where is the data source? This is my data source sample superstore. Let's open this. Actually, this is a repository location of your Tableau. Whenever you install Tableau desktop, dynamically these folders were created. So each folder has its own importance. Data sources is a folder. It has its own data sets. Okay. If you look at the Excel sheet, this is a sample data set given by the Tableau. Okay. So if you look at the column names, row ID, order date, ship date, ship mode, customer ID, customer name, segment, country, city, state, postal code, region, product category, product subcategory, product name. So these are the metric informations we have: sales, quantity, discount, profit. So it looks like which type of business? It is a type of retail business, correct? So my understanding, the customer, where is it? This is the customer ID is there, customer is there. So customers are ordering the products. So those products are categorized into subcategories, then categories. Okay. So which has a delivery to the specific locations. It has a country, state, city, postal codes and region. Okay. And these, when a customer place an order, the order, each order will have its own order ID. So there is a order data, there is a shipment delivery data, and also what is the shipment delivery mode of delivery. Okay. So it is a segmentation. So what type of and where it is delivering? It's a consumer good or a home office or corporate. So likewise, there is a classification using the column segmentation. So each row has a row ID. So using this, what we can understand, and if you look at the measures, Sales quantity profit. What is the sale amount of the product? What is the quantity sold by the customer? What is the discount given by the company? And the profit company got it. So like the way we have four metric information. This is the data source. It's a belongs to the retail business. It's a sample data source belongs to the retail business which given by the Tableau company. So it is a constructed way of data source. It is a structured way of data source you can utilize for your practice. Okay, it has approximate 10,194 records. The first record is a header, so leave that. Remaining actual data we have for 10,194 records. Yes, you can utilize this data source, my understanding. Okay, so now the repository location. So by default, when you are pointing your data source, it directly goes to the repository location. This is the repository location. My Tableau repository existed under documents. Got it? So under there are multiple folders. So when you are using the data source, it directly pointed to the data source folder. Okay. Okay. So for example, if you have a data in any of the database system, so how to establish connection to the database server? So these are the options we can use to establish connection to the flat file, to a file. If you look at here, just follow my cursor. If you want to establish a connection to the text file, yes, you can able to establish connection to the text file. If you have any data source like text, CSV, if you look at under the text, what type of file extensions can be used? TXT, CSV, tab, .tsv. If you're having data in the following extension, you can use this. Okay, so JSON files will have extension .json. This is Microsoft Access database. So Microsoft Access database also a part of flat file. Okay, so this is a PDF file. This is a special. If you have data in the PDF, yes, we can use a PDF as a table. Okay, so like the way you can establish connection to the flat files. If you select more, there will be a lot of many other extensions. You can choose your customized extension and you can establish connection. Okay, now if you look at more default, there are a few database systems are bookmarked here: Microsoft SQL Server, MySQL, Oracle, Amazon Redshift. If you select more, you can see n number of data sources, all current ongoing business transactions, whatever using in the database systems, those all are available here. Okay, so if you look at you can see, let's try for example MySQL DB, Salesforce, SAP HANA, Splunk, Snowflake, Teradata, Teradata OLAP connector, so Oracle Space, PostgreSQL, Google Drive. You can also get a files from Google Drive. Okay, so Google Analytics is a database system. Somewhere we have MongoDB. This is a MongoDB. Okay, so mm, so like the way you can establish connection to any of the database system with a single click. For example, I'm selecting Oracle. When I select a Oracle, what details need to be filled? What is a server name? What is the service and port numbers are optional. If you have the details, you can mention. Okay, username and password. Using this, the sign in get enabled. You can sign into the respective database system. So for any database system, server name, database credentials are mandatory. Now selecting SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server. For example, let's select this. When you select server name, what is the database name, what is the authentication? So authentications are two types: Windows authentication and a specific username and password. So you can select any authentication type based on the requirement. If you have username and password, select username and password. If you want to go with your existing Windows authentication, you can go with the uh, Windows authentication. Got it? So you have to mention server name and database is a optional. So like the way you can able to establish connection to the database system. So now I am establishing connection to the Microsoft Excel. Later, once you load this Excel data source into your installed database, then we can try practicing on any of your required database system. Okay, so this is the way of establishing connection. Just select the data source, open it. Now you are able to see the tables, orders, people, returns. You can preview the information by selecting this preview button. Select this view data, where you can able to see data what is available in that specific table. This belongs to the orders table. Okay, let's try for people. So people is a table having two columns. One is a region, another one is a regional manager. Who is that manager for respective region? This is for returns. Let's view the data. So what is the order ID and returned? Yes or no? If anything no, no orders returned. If yes, orders are returned. So this is a table having only the returned product list, return order list. Got it? So like the way you can able to see your tables. How these I'm calling as a tables? These all are the sheets in that Excel sheet. Let's open this. If you look at in the bottom, this is the orders, this is a people, this is a returns. Correct? So these three are the sheets. So when you point to your Tableau to respective data source, these sheets considered are acts as a tables. So these are the three tables. So what to do now? Now I establish connection to the data source. Now I can able to see the tables. What to do next? Next, you have to import data into your Tableau. How to get the data from table? Drag the table and drop here. Okay, now the connection to data source, the connection to table is successful. How I am saying? Because the data is imported and being shown in my Tableau desktop. Okay, so this is the metadata information. This is metadata information. This is preview of the data source. Metadata. What is metadata? What is metadata? The structure of a table or any database object called as a metadata. Correct? So what is a structure? Structure means we have this table. row ID and everything, except the records. The remaining everything called as a structure. The skeleton of the table is called as a structure. Okay, so it don't have any information. So what type of information it will have? It will have a table name, column name, data type, table name, column name, data type, but no data. No data means what? Without data. Without data, the structure of a table comes under like a table name. What is a table name? What is a column name? What is a data type? This information called as a metadata of a table. So if you look at let's drag it to top. If you look at this is a type, this is a data type, this is a name, this is a table name. If you want, you can rename the table name. For example, I'm renaming as orders table, correct? If I make change here, it won't impact to your data source. This is as it is orders, but I made change. I renamed the table name to orders underscore table. This won't impact to your database system. So it's very clear in Tableau. Once you import data into your Tableau desktop, the manipulations whatever you are doing, that will be restricted only at the Tableau level. So Tableau authorized to run select statements. Tableau does not fit to run insert, update, deletes to the existing data source. So you cannot manipulate the data into the master tables by using Tableau application. Correct? Whatever you are making the changes, that is being displayed only in Tableau. Now I renamed a table name. Yes, this is affected only to the Tableau. If you look at this table also not being changed, because this is directly coming from the data source. So I dragged here, this is getting changed because I have renamed the table name here. Okay, so this is a field name, so this is a physical table name. What is the original table name here? Orders is the original table name. I might have renamed, but this is a original table name. This is a remote field name. What is remote field name? For example, right click on this column. Let's do rename. Row id underscore mm, id member. This is a column got renamed, correct? If you look at the remote field name, what is the remote field name? Row id. So the original column names shown under remote field name, it is as it is same in the database. This is the column names which you are using in the report, because as part of the manipulation you can sometimes we rename the column names as well, but that won't impact to the existing data source. Yeah, so this is about metadata. So table name, column name, data type, and remote field name, this is belongs to same column name only. Okay, so now this is a preview of the data source. So you should understand Tableau dynamically assigning data types to the Tableau dynamically assigning data types to columns. Correct? How, how I can say the data types dynamically assigned to the columns? Because if you look at each column assigned with a data type label. If you look at in the metadata also, you can see there is a type column. This is a data type column which is assigned to all the columns. Here, data types assigned with a label. Ash, select this. What is the data type? Number whole. So what are the data types available? Number decimal, number whole, date and time, date, string, boolean. These six data types are available. So what is the use of data type? What is the use of data type? So when you create a table, obviously a table will have multiple columns. Okay. For example, customer name. This is one column I defining. Okay. When I'm creating a table, I'm adding a column name, customer name. When you are creating a column name, you must assign a data type. What is the data type? I mean, type of data, what getting stored into this column. I want to store string information because naming is part of a string. I'm giving some how many characters I want. Maximum I can able to store up to 25 characters. This is one of the column. If you don't give data type, column cannot be created in the database. For for example, date of birth, okay, customer. So date of birth is not a string, right? String means it will have any type of character. Coming to the date of birth, what it has only the data. I'm giving the data type as date. If you want to mention time, you can mention time as well, date time. There are under the date there are two type of one is a date data type, date and time data type. So date and time you have to mention time. Time will be mentioned hours, minutes, seconds. Like the way I want to give salary, salary will be number data type. You have to mention how many digits I want to mention. For example, I want to mention 10 digits. How many floated numbers? For example, 10 is a floated number. Floated numbers means what? Up to 10 decimal point of a number you can use it. You can store it into the database. Similarly, here each column has a data type. So data type is dynamically assigned here. So ID number. If you look at number whole, number decimal, date and time, date string, boolean. There are six data types supported default in Tableau. Okay, number whole is it's a whole number. 1 2 3 4 5 6. It's a complete integer number. It's a whole number. So data type will be number whole. Okay, let's come down. This is a string data type. How I am saying? Because ABC allocated label, that is a string. This is a calendar. This is a date. If you look at this is the globe label being shown. Means what? This is a geographic location. Select this. But when you select here data type is being shown as string because country is a column which stores country names. Country names are the strings. It is a string data type. But there is an option geographic role. After defining the data type, if any role defined, then that will be shown as a geographic label, globe label, globe symbol. Okay. So here, what is a geographic role? Country or region. If you look at these, all are the geographic roles we have in Tableau. Airport, area codes, CBSA codes, cities, so the district names, counties, okay, nuts, these for Europe, state and province, zip code or postal code. These are the type of geographic roles Tableau supports. So this is a country or region geographic role. Okay. So let's select this is the next one, city. For city column, what is the geographic role? This is a city is a geographic role. So based on the available geographic role, you can choose any of the geographic role for your column. For my column, zip code or postal code is a geographic role because this is the column storing postal codes of the location. Got my point? So like the way you can able to assign the data type. So you can also change the data type. My understanding, this is dynamically assigned as a data. That's what the default option taken. Now, if you want to change that data type to date and time, let's select the date and time. If you look at the date label of the column, what it is showing now? Calendar with the clock label means what? The data type is a date and time. Okay, so anyway this column don't have timing information, so it takes a default time. What is a default time? 12 a.m. is a default time. If your table having existing timing information, that will be shown here. If you table don't have timing information, if you convert the date to the date and time, it takes a default time that has 12 a.m. Got it? So what are the data types supported in Tableau? There are six data types supported in Tableau by default. What are those? Number decimal, number whole, date and time, date, string, boolean. Got it? So somewhere we renamed a column name, right? ID number. So when I want to extract what is the ID number for specific customer, customer name, remain there. I want the ID number. So I am writing a query for this. Select ID number from orders where customer name equal to remainder. You got it right? If you look at the ID number is ID number existed in orders table? Yes or no? Is ID number existed in orders table? This is the query I'm trying to run at a database side, not in Tableau. In the database, I want to run this query. If you run the query like this, is that results ID number of a Preminder customer, or is that returns any error? Yes or no?
Yes, yes, Brahman.
It returns a ID number of the customer, correct?
Yeah, yes.
It won't result a ID number of the customer. Why? Because ID number is a column which does not exist in the database. How? ID
That
number is a,
meant
it's a renamed column. To run this in the database, you have to find the original remote column name. What is the remote field name? Row ID. So
provide.
when you are running the queries in the database, you have to find the original field name first. Then you can take the reference of original field name. You can customize your query. You can run it in your database. You will get exact result. So always we should not go with the columns what being shown in the report, because most of the time we rename the column based on the client requirements. Got it? So like the way we can able to rename the column, we can able to change the data type. Correct? So moreover, You established connection to the data source. What is the data source? Orders, sample superstore. Orders is a table. Okay. If you look at in the top, there are two connections. One is live and another one is extract. One is live and another one is extract. By default, Tableau takes a live as a default connection. Tableau takes a live as a default. What is a live connection? How many connections we have? We have two connections. One is a live connection. What is a live connection? The Tableau report directly connected to the database. When a report directly connected to the database, what happens? The changes what made in database can directly immediate reflected into Tableau report as well. Okay. So what is the use of live connection? In the live connection, the report directly connected to the database system. So when a report directly connect to the database system, simultaneous in the backend there might be a number of operations, a number of data loads. Okay, a number of manipulations will happen by various application owners by using various tools. ETL tool, they everyday loads data into the database system. So the column names, the data in the table names get changed. So for example, order names, I have the order date till day before yesterday. So when you are working, meantime the ETL load might happen. They'll load latest data into the database system. You will get today's data as well. Got it. So like the way always a database get updated with the latest information by using various applications, various vendors, various tools. Okay, so such information, the latest updates direct direct directly imported into Tableau when you are in the live connection. Okay, so every time this report get refreshed, so the performance of the report also completely dependent. The performance of the report also completely dependent on DB performance. So when you are in the live connection, database system must perform with high performance. Then only your report performance also high. So we'll discuss later about this connection point because when I discuss about extract, we'll discuss more about the live. Okay. So this is filters we have. What is the use of filters? Actually, in general, what is a filter?
It's filter the data. Yeah.
In general, filter is to restrict content.
Yes.
In Tableau, we have n number of filters. You can create a filter in the data source page as well. So if you look at earlier when you connect, this is the connection window. Later you when you establish a connection to any source, you will become to the data source page. This is data source page or data source window we can say. Here we have the filters option. In general, filters to restrict the content. In Tableau, you are dealing with the data of the business. What will you restrict? We can restrict the records comes from the table. Okay, so in Tableau, whatever you are going to filter, Tableau supports for row level filters. What is a row level filter? Do we have any other filter? We have other filters. We have column level filters as well. What is a row level filter? What is a column level filter? So row level filters works on records, existing records of the table. For example, table 1. So it has a column 1, column 2, column 3. So column 1 has a Prema, Warangal, 100, Mohan, Hyderabad, 200, Prasanna, what is that? Hanamkonda, 300. Okay. So when you are applying a row level filter, what is the row? In a database table, the data whatever you stored is a row by row. It's a record by record operation. Okay. So row level filter means you are restricting the records. This is the row 1, this is a row 2, this is row 3. How many records you have? 3 records. I mean 3 rows. So you can restrict your records by using this filtration process. What type of filtration? For example, I want to get only Prem and Mohan data. Filtration you can do, but in the output the column count will be remain same. After applying the filters, column count will be remain same. If you are not filtering out, for example, I'm filtering out for a customer name Kushi. Customer name Kushi is not existed in the database system, not existed in the database system, but still the column count remains same, returned with 0 records. So here it returned with 2 records. Okay. Sorry, this is row level filters. You are restricting only the records, not the columns. Whereas comes to the column level filters, in the two there are 3 columns, in which how many columns you want? I want only these two. I don't want salary. Otherwise, I want I have a requirement. I want to show only customer name and their salaries. Okay, this is my requirement. Accordingly, if your tool supports for column level filter, you are authorized to select only required columns. So what is a column? Column 1, and what is another one? Salary. So here you can get the entire column along with the restricting the records. How do you want? We can do that. 300. Got it? So if you look at so if you look at so this is this is the use of column level filters. You can restrict, you can limit the columns how many columns you want, you can get only required columns from the database. So in the Tableau, the filters whatever you are seeing here, those all supports for only row level filters. Row level filters means what? The columns remain same. So now I am trying to apply one filter. To create a filter, to add a restriction, select add option, then select again add. So for example, we have category column. Let's select OK. Here we have three categories. We might have a number of products, those all are categorized into only three types. I want to see only furniture and office supplies based on my client requirement. So I'm importing only these two. Got it? So if you look at columns all remain same. Columns are remain same. Where is this? So columns are remain same. So to find that, you can see the label here. From metadata, you can see all the columns here. So here also you can see under the preview, you can see all the columns list. Only the thing is, from the category column, only two categories got filtered: furniture and office supplies. Got it? So the filters whatever you can able to apply, all are category filters. For example, I mean row level filters. For example, my understanding, uh, if I don't select anything from the category column, what happens? Category column itself not selected, right? Like that, I planned and I understood about the tool and I apply the filtration. What happened here? There is no data selected. Why? Because if you look at category is remain same. There is no column restricted into your report. Okay, still category column is presented. Only the thing, the filtration what you are applying, this is row level filtration. That's the reason there is no data selected. There are only three values, none of the values selected among the three. That's the reason zero records came or imported into your report. Got it? Now I have applied filtration for category. Now you can see only furniture category, no office supplies, no mobile. What is another one? Technology. Okay. So let's edit this. You can able to edit your filter. If you want to change the value, yes, you can change the value. If you want to using all option, if you want to select all values, yes, you can select all values. Like the way you can able to edit your filters. If you want to select a none, I mean you don't want to select any value, yes, by using single selection none, there will be no value selected. And also if you want to exclude any specific value, yes, you can exclude specific value. If you select exclude, what is happening? Furniture getting excluded from the list. So what all are being shown? Office supplies and technologies get exported into your report. Office supplies and technology. Furniture got excluded from the list. Got it? So like the way you can able to do filtration, you can able to add n number of filters. For example, this is a region. So how many regions of data we have? Four regions of data: central, east, south, west. So how, which region you want best, you can apply that filter. If you look at by default the filter count is 0. When you are applying one filter, the filter count increased. When you are applying second filter, the count increased to 2. If you remove this, filter count is 1. If you remove this, filter count is a 0. Means what? How many filters applied, that count being shown. So if you up, if the based on the count you can find filters applied on how many columns. If you apply filtration on 2 columns, count will be 2. If you apply filter in 3 columns, count will be 3. Like the way you can able to understand how many filters applied, how many columns being used under the filtration, that count you can shows here. Okay, so now this is about a data source page where you can able to manipulate the data. What type of manipulation you are making? You are doing some cleanup process. You are renaming the fields. You are changing the data type. You are applying filtration. Okay, so those all are part of this one. So there are few more things we have to understand. Let's discuss about later when we are discussing more into other part of concepts. So for example, there is a alias name. For better understanding, let's move to the, what we can say, let's select a category. Okay, select the drop down, select alias names. What it is showing? Furniture, office supplies, technology. Now I want to create alias name. I don't want to use furniture for furniture. FURN is fine. For office supplies, office is fine. For technology, techno is fine. Uh, for technology, I'm going with the same name. Let's apply this. If you look at office supplies renamed with office, furniture renamed with fun, technology remains same. If you go to add filters, category, the renamed values being shown as this. So whatever you renamed, only those get represented, shown, returned into your Tableau report. Got it? One more thing you should understand. Here I wrote this right. Now I want to select product names from orders, products which belongs to the category office supplies. So in Tableau I have renamed it as office. Where is that office? Let's I'm writing for same. Select the product names from orders where category equal to office. So is this query returns the product list, product name? Yeah, product name. Is this query returns a list of products which belongs to office supplies? Yes or no?
No, print.
No, because office is a, it belongs,
Tableau side it didn't.
we created alias name at a Tableau end.
Hmm.
So this name does not exist in the database system. So in the database system, when you are trying to run the query, you should go with the original value. So if how to find the original name, right click on it, go to alias names, then check what for which one you want to write the query. Office supplies. What is the original name? Office supplies. That is being renamed or aliased as office. If you want to clear the alias, yes, you can clear the alias here. Got it. Like the way you can able to create alias names for original names. Got it? So you can create alias names. So there is one more option, you can hide the column name. There might be a number of 20 columns, approximately more than 10 columns we have here. I don't want a row ID number into Tableau. So what to do? Right click on it and you can hide the column. Like the way you can able to hide it. So if you hide the column, it is not like you are not running query for ID. Only in Tableau it is hidden. Okay, but the query as it is run for all the columns. Moreover, you should understand when you are dragging orders to Tableau, you are not writing any query. To interact with any database system, what we have to do? We have to run the query. What query we have to run? SQL query. Correct? But here you are not writing any table, sorry, any SQL query. So Tableau dynamically converting your visual interactions as SQL queries. Okay, so it has SQL compilers. So when you are dragging a table to here, so it converting. Okay, so user expecting specific table, so it is converting. Select a star from orders. That's the reason you are able to see the data in your Tableau. Got it? So this is about the data source page. So we discussed about the filters, that is a data source filters. What is the filters we discussed? The first type of filter we discussed about data source filters. So where these filters created? These filters created in a data source page. Got it? I'll brief you about data source filters when we discuss about other filters. So now this is about data cleanup or data preparation thing. Let's move to the sheet one now. What is the sheet? Sheet is nothing but a report. Sheet is nothing but a report. Sheet is nothing but a report. What is a sheet? So just remember the terminology. This is called as a data pane. The data block, whatever you're showing, this is called as a data pane. This is the pages shelf, filters shelf, marks card, marks card, columns shelf, rows shelf. Got it? What is this? This is a toolbar. Follow my cursor. This is a toolbar. So this is the file menu. This is the menu bar. File, data, worksheet, dashboard. This is the menu bar. The below to the menu bar is a toolbar. Below to that we have the data pane, pages shelf, filter shelf, marks card, column shelf, and rows shelf. Got it? So if you look at it, Tableau dynamically splitted your data like two blocks. What is measured? What is dimensions? Right? There is a line. There is a separation. Using that, it was classified into two blocks. Bottom are the measures, above are the dimensions. Moreover, this is the default data source name. Orders sample superstore. You can rename it. orders superstore. This is the connection name. This is the connection name. So if you go to the data source page back, this is the connection name being shown here, sample iPhone superstore. Okay, so Tableau dynamically classifying your columns into two blocks. One is measure, another one is dimension. So a report, a sheet is a report. A report is a collection of multiple shelves. So including data pane, pages, filters, marks cards, columns, and rows shelves. And also this is a menu bar. This is a sorry, above is a menu bar. This is a toolbar. Now very simple report I want to create. I want to create a category, subcategory wise sales. Category, subcategory wise sales. Go to the report. To create a report, this is very clear. To create a report, no need to run any query. So for example, you if when you want to see category, subcategory sales, usually we will run the query. Right here, no need to write query, just double click on the column, it dynamically places into the report. Okay, Tableau intelligently works here. Dynamically it creates some visualization, so later you can customize it as a developer based on the requirement. But when you select dynamically, it understands based on the data availability, and it creates some visualization, that is a category and subcategory placed into the rows, sales placed into the text. How I am saying sales placed into the text? Because you can see the label T. T means text. You can see the same label here. Sales placed into the text. Actually, it is not the sales. It is the sum of sales. It is a sum of sales. You are aggregating the sales to the selective dimensions, category and subcategory. Got it? So Tableau performing sum as a default aggregation. Correct. One more thing we should understand. So it looks like a pill. We know tablet pill, right? It's like a pill. So dimensions are shown with a blue color pills, metrics are shown with a green color pills. Like the way you can identify, you can classify, you can recognize what is dimension, what is measure in the report. Using the label which assigned to the label, you can identify where it got placed in the report. Okay, so Tableau intelligently placed and created category and subcategory wise sales in the report. By default, Tableau creates a textual table, text table as a default table, default visualization in Tableau. Got it? Tableau performs what? Sum is a default aggregation. Okay, and what is the next? Dimensions shown with a blue color label. Blue color labels, we can say in the report point it is blue pills. Measures will be green pills, or we can say green labels. Okay, Tableau default creates a text table is a default visualization. Got it right? So like the way we can able to create a simple visualization. Now I'm trying to save the file. Go to the save as. So where I have to save documents, Tableau class. Okay. So there are two type of file extensions. So normally go with the TWBX file, class 1 sample. Okay, later I'll discuss what is a TWBX and what is TWB. So when you are trying to save your file, so try to save it with the TWBX. Let's just save this. Let's close this. Okay, so like the way you can able to create a visualizations.